Okay, Coach, not much difference. It's only been 2 practices now, neither of them in full pads, but just before we go into a break, how do you feel after finally getting back out onto the field?
Yeah, I think it really makes you fall back in love with the game. Just especially being a head coach for the first time, you realize that probably 90% of your job when you're not on the field is administration, and the assistant coaches have to do a lot of work. So luckily we have a lot of great ones. But being back out on the grass is always a wonderful feeling. But also you talk about the strides. We always say year 1 to year 2 are the biggest. That's the biggest jump you're going to make. And I think in practice 1 to practice 2, that probably could go the same way. I thought we looked exponentially better today than we did on Tuesday. We had a lot of other guys out there who held out for various reasons in the first practice we got to see for the first time today. And I think the kids having the understanding of the expectations, a couple of the first practice jitters are now out of the way. They were able to just go out and improve and have some fun.
Since the first time we talked, a big thing you've talked about is nutrition, and the partnership with Black Label announced today. Just how excited are you about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the folks at Black Label, I mean, the whole Bell family, they're absolutely incredible people. And I think when we came in, they were already pushing, trying to put nutrition at the forefront here. And it's something that Pauline and crew have been working on for a long time. But man, you talk about having one of the best supplement companies in the business jump on board to try and really help your guys out. It's huge for our program. When I got here, I think every program has to find out what your ace in the hole is and what you're going to be the best at. And while we're making huge strides in a lot of amazing areas, when you're talking about weather, facilities, money, input, yeah, we're not the best at those right now. But we immediately put ourselves at the pinnacle of nutrition in the Big Sky Conference, which means a lot for us. That you can knock on some things we may or may not have right now, but dang it, we're going to be the best fed, most well-supplied team in the Big Sky, and that means a lot for us.
Much.
That's all I really wanted right there.
Okay.
That was a lot better than what I said earlier.
What do
I gave you second times.
Yeah, it's great.
Anything you want to see out of the team? So we're in this weird spot where we've had 2 practices now, and we're immediately taking a 10-day break. What do you want to see out of the players in this gap?
Yeah, well, I think some of that is by design, just you looking at the timing of when our spring break falls and when we're able to do spring ball. That with the acclimatization, you always have to have 2 practices, every program does, 2 practices and just helmets, so it's not real football. So we like to get a lot of our pillow fighting out of the way before we have to stop and take a break. But I think it was great just because everybody got to come out, get a taste of it and improve. And then when we come back, we're going to have shells on. We're going to have pads, helmets, and football's going to start to get real. And we're going to rewind and basically do the same week when we come back. So there's a little bit of review, but ramped up intensity from both a pad and execution standpoint. And then we'll start to progress and stack days from there as we talk about learning new concepts, techniques, fundamentals as we build.
Perfect.
I guess just one more that I'm thinking of
Yeah.
before I get back to it later, but obviously numbers for this program aren't where they are maybe for some others, so once the pads go on, just how does injury risk sort of factor into
It's
decisions?
something that you always have to weigh, but also as a program, we're trying to make sure that we get the contact that we need to be successful, because your body has to be calloused for contact a little bit. You have to hit, but we would love to do it in as much of a controlled environment as possible, and then probably once a week we'll have the guys actually play, because you have to build that live experience, those real-time reactions. But doing it in a controlled environment is really the goal of the staff, that we can have controlled contact every day so you're getting the reps you need to get better and to get familiar with it without putting anybody at risk. But our training staff's done a great job staying on top of it, and we'll continue to monitor it. And we got to be flexible as coaches and put the safety of the kids at the forefront all the time with everything that we're doing. So we'll make sure that keeping numbers up is a priority.